Firstly, let me introduce my group. My name is Sukma Melati and my other friend Dini Hadi, and the last is Amania Sari. Have you ever known about poem? Poem, according to Macmillan Dictionary, poem is a piece of writing using beautiful or unusual language arranged in fixed lines that have a particular beat and often rhythm. Poems literally work in the form of written art, which is a form of expression of the author's feelings through language that is bound by rhythm, like mantra, and the arrangement of lyrics and stanzas.
There is between poems and poetry. Poem, a piece of writing in which the words are arranged in spirit lines, often ending in rhyme, and are chosen for their sound and for the image and ideas they suggest. Poetry is poems in general as a form of literature. So, if it's concluded from the Cambridge Dictionary, poem is more accurately translated into rhyme, while poetry is translated into poetry. And then characteristics of poem. There are 4 characteristics. The first is, in general, poem has the following characteristic. The language that is usually used to form poetry is connotative or figuratively. Second, in its preparation, the elements of language in poem must be neat, beautiful, and well organized to produce a rhythm or final sound. Third, every poem has a word compaction of all elements of language ability. And the last, poem usually expresses the poet's thoughts and feelings from the scope and experiences they apply as imaginatively as possible.
Okay, the next part is elements contained in poem. The first subpart is the physical structure. The first is typography. Second is diction. The third is imagination. The fourth is concrete words. The fifth is language style. Typography is everything that can be seen with the eye when reading poem, such as poem page, page age, line arrangement, word writing, punctuation writing, use of capital letters, and so on. The second is diction. Diction is the choice of word used by the poem to represent what he thinks as a medium of expression in poem. Choosing the right word will give a very strong magical power to the poem that the poem creates. The third is imagination. Is a word or arrangement of words that can express sensory experiences such as seeing, hearing, and feeling. The next is concrete words are words that allow imagination to arise because they can be captured by the sense, which are related to figures of speech or symbols. And the last is language style or figure of speech is a way of express thought through language in a distinctive way that shows the soul and personality of the writer. The figure of speech that is often used in poem is metaphor, anaphora, personification, hyperbole, and irony. The next subpart is inner structure of poem. There are poem term, message of poem, poem meaning, taste or feeling, and the last is tune. Is the main idea of the poem as outlined in the stanzas of her of his poem, usually derived from the story of the poem's life. The second is the message is the value that is obtained and seen from the poem's point of view, while the impression is the value in terms of the reader or listener. The third, the meaning of the poem is the content implied in the poem. The fourth is taste or feeling, namely the attitude of the poem regarding the subject matter contained in his or her poem. The last is tune, is the attitude of the poem to the reader. Continue the next part, types of poem. There are ballads, elegy, free verse, and imagery. We will discuss one by one. The first is ballads, usually written related to romance, usually contains a personal story and has frequent repetition of words. The second is elegy. In writing a poem, all emotion can be mixed into one. However, specifically for elegy, the poems written are sad or mourning poems. The third is free verse. Although poem is usually written using the same rhyme or rhythm, the free verse is a poem that is free for these rules. And the last is imagery. It is a poem that reads like a snip, not a sentence. It could be that in one line only consists of one word, which is not necessarily related to the previous sentence or word. Oh wow, it turns out that was the last part we discussed. Thank you. We hope that the discussion about this poem can be useful for you. Bye, see you.